With a WNZE 105.5 and 1400 special update, I'm Ryan Pluckelman. Congressman Mark Green live at the U.S.-Mexico border. Congressman, what are you seeing?
Well, thanks for having me on. And now I'm in Brownsville, Texas. Spent the morning at McAllen over at the Donna processing facility. What I'm seeing is a human tragedy. I am seeing in one pod designed for 33 children, 621 children. And I mean, you got to let that number sink in. But literally, I mean, it's built for the whole facility is built for 250, and there were 3,989 there this morning, of whom 3,362 were children. It's insane. And you think about the costs, $87 million to put some of the migrants in hotels. Each of the pods that I was in McAllen, $16 million a month each, two of them full, $32 million a month for that one section of our border. And the CBP people are just so tied up with this processing, they're not manning the border. And the cartels know that, so they are flooding the border with, drugs. Just this morning, they have what's called a splash and grab, where the cartel member drives the vehicle into the Rio Grande, just drives it into the water, and then guys from our side come over and grab the narcotics out in rafts and take it back. Well, they actually caught one this morning because of state police that are on the border. Texas governor has sent his National Guard and State Guard, and they caught these guys. But it's hundreds of pounds of marijuana, fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, and we know that with no CBP on the border, tons of drugs are coming into the United States. Cartel members, gang members. That's what's been facilitated by the Biden failure. And this is clearly a Biden failure. President Trump had this under control. I mean, he put asylum agreements together with Mexico and Guatemala, and Biden killed those with executive orders on day one. And then the House, the radical leftist House, led by Nancy Pelosi and AOC, passed a bill that gave amnesty to every one of them. So they've created this massive pull to our southern border, and we're expecting over 1 million people to come across the border this year.
All right, Congressman Green, if I know anything about you, I know you're a solutions guy. I know you were down there, you were seeing what you were seeing, and you were just describing to us. But I also know that the gears were turning. What seeing all of that, what do you think is a good solution, and what are you going to start moving forward to try and remedy this?
So there are fixes at the border that addresses the pull factor, right? So Trump came in and he made these agreements with Mexico. He made agreements with Guatemala, and he built border wall and all that. Those are the pull factor. We have to fix that. So that has to be reinstated. On the push side, what's happening is, they're losing labor, and with manufacturing being, sent to China, those job opportunities in Latin America are gone.
Right. So
we have to help fix the push side of the migration issue as well, and that's going to require taking some of the development aid we've got going. We don't need to send any more, but taking what we've got and incentivizing businesses to come from China back to Latin America, preferably the United States. But if they can't come here because the business model, labor costs don't support it, then let's bring them to Latin America. One, the transportation costs from there to the market in the U.S. would be shorter, and it'd be creating opportunity there and relieving pressure on our southern border. That's the push fix.
What can our listeners do, Congressman? How can they help you?
What I need is people bombarding Democrat lawmakers in Washington. Google their offices, call those phone numbers, and say, put a stop to this. With the cartels, with the drugs coming in, we're killing Americans right now with what Joe Biden and the Democrats are doing. We got to stop it. And then there's the humanitarian piece, what's happening to these migrants as they transgress Mexico. We need to call those Democrat lawmakers and tell them to put a stop to it, reenact Trump's asylum policies, and build the wall.
That's a special news update for WNZE 105.5 and 1400, Clarksville's News Talk. I'm Ryan Pluckelman.